Hey guys, this is Rurouni K95 here, and once again, it is time for a manga review. Although I might gonna do a manga review on Inuyasha Volume 4, but we're gonna do that on Saturday. So today, I want to do something very different for today. I wanted to do, for a perfect manga review for today is Ranma Half Volume 1. The first volume of the Ranma Half manga for the first time as well. So, the story begins of how we get to this, because we're going to be doing my first manga review on Ranma Half Volume 1 for the very first time as well. And I haven't done Ranma Half Volume 1 manga for the first time on there. There's only like 14 chapters on there in this particular manga, like Ranma Half on here. So we're gonna, without any further ado, which is right here, right now, let's dive into the first volume of Ranma Half right now. So the story takes place in Nerima, Tokyo, as well, because from what I understand, though, is that we got the introducing on the character. We have Endo, as well as the Tendo, one of the Tendo sisters, including the young, cute, tsundere whore Akane Tendo, which you see in Ranma Half as well. And then we get to the part where Ranma Sawatome and Genma Sawatome, Genma Sawatome is in the panda form, and then Ranma Sawatome is in the girl form, what you see in this one, particularly, like, if you can take note on this, especially of how things is going well, because I think that when they were on the way back from the training in Junsenkyo as well, from what I understand as well, because they never seen a girl fighting a panda as well, what you see, which is basically in Japan, as how in the streets of Nerima, Tokyo as well, especially how the martial arts goes by, things just go almost as quite as how you would expect, especially of how in this chapter goes as well. Yep. And then Genma Sawatome and Ranma Sawatome went back in this home part when they were brought into the Tendo sisters in the Tendo dojo, what you expect seeing of how you would expect for in Ranma Half as well. And then they thought, yeah, because they were back after the training in Junsenkyo, because of the secret of what happened, what causes Ranma and his father to become something, how it happens as well. Because from what I understand is that they wanted to know the secret. That's which we'll get to the chapter later on. Here's how you would expect seeing in this one as well. Especially when Ranma is back as well. Yeah, one of the Tendo sisters thought Ranma is a girl as well. And then we get to the story of how something happened in there with the martial arts training, especially with what Ranma has with Akane Tendo, especially in this part on this chapter as well. Especially the lesson in martial arts, like learning the martial arts, especially the studying the fight as well, and of how it works as well. Yeah, that's from the works of it as well. Yeah, because that's how things just go pretty well before they were that Akane Tendo knew that Ranma's pretty good at martial arts, and that's how we get to every parts of the story as well. From how it will go, seems of how it progresses in the story. And then we Akane Tendo, and then wants to give Ranma the bath part, but when Ranma's in the girl form though, and the water was cold, but that's how it happens. When Ranma's in the hot tub part, and then Akane wants to check on Ranma, but things is going in a shocking truth, in a hot and cold ways of how she could not knew that Ranma is actually a boy as well, from the looks of it. And then she thought that there was a pervert in the bathroom as well. Because that's how things just go, how things just don't go pretty well until there's the appearance of how Ranma appeared in this chapter as well, from the looks of it. And also Ranma's in his normal form as well as his father too, especially in this chapter part when they were splashed with hot water as well, from how it goes. And that's how, if they want to know the secret basically of how, if Ranma is splashed with hot water, he's actually the boy as well. When then Genma Sawatome, who is Ranma's father, throws Ranma half in the water by the dojo thing, and then it transforms Ranma back to the girl form as well. Yeah, when cold water affects on Ranma, it appears on Ranma's girl form as well. And also, same goes for Genma Sawatome in his panda form, what you see in this chapter part in this particular manga, like Ranma half as well. And that's how things is going pretty well, though. And that's how it all happened back when Ranma and his father were training in the right where the mountains of Junsenkyo, China, especially where those cursed spring ponds that transforms into any object that affects on somebody, which falls into those cursed springs as well. Especially when Ranma Sawatome and Genma Sawatome were fighting in martial art trainings as well in there. And then Genma Sawatome falls into the spring of drowned panda, and then it causes Genma Sawatome to become a panda, because a panda has drowned 1,000 years ago in the spring of which is in Jusenkyo. And also during the battle conflict between him and Ranma as well, Ranma falls into the spring of drowned girl, which causes Ranma to become a girl as well. And that's how he has revealed his secrets, as how you would expect in there, which in other words, Genma Sawatome threw Ranma Sawatome into the water outside of the house though, and then he becomes a girl, and then Ranma Sawatome throws the bucket of cold water on Genma Sawatome. Genma Sawatome becomes a panda, what you see in this chapter of the manga, though, especially, is how it goes. And things is going how it is expect. Things goes pretty right, as how you would expect as well, of how you would expect in this chapter, how things just don't go pretty well for how Ranma is different as either a boy or a girl, of how things just going well from how it works, especially of how in this chapter as well. That's the only thing. as how things would have almost had it coming, as how it works particularly. And on top of this, that's the thing of why Akane hates men, because she's basically a martial arts tsundere. Kenshiro would have beat the shit out of Ane. In other words, Omaya wa mo shindaru. Morning comes and Ranma Sawatome knows what Akane is up to especially when on the way to school. But then Ranma's father, Genma Sawatome, has shown up and then falls into the water right where in the streets of Nerima, and then Ranma's father becomes the panda during the fight and all. And then it was until he was splashed with water and becomes the girl, as well as a nuisance type of certain matter as well you expect in this chapter. Until they first met Dr. Tofu, especially of how, if there's any injuries in that, from how things goes in the introductions. And then Ranma Sawatome pours himself hot water on the girl form, which transforms him back to the boy. Because, Dr. Tofu is a chiropractor, as basically in this particular. And then school when they were running off to school, though, because I think Akane is late for the school part in this, how the story progresses in Ranma. Defeats all those boys always is because she's like Mrs. Nothing goes right as well. And that's how you expect seeing in this chapter as well. And then we get to the arrival of Tatawaki Kuno, who is a skilled swordsman, basically. Who's basically has a duel between him and Ranma Sawatome, especially in the fight battle between them and as well. From how you expect as well, of how the story progresses, though. And that's how you would expect until the arrival of how these suitor rivalries as well. And also, not only that, you see the Genma Sawatome in panda form pushes off Tatawaki Kuno and runs off with Ranma when Genma Sawatome is in the panda form. When Ranma is in the girl form as well, of how the appearance changes. And then Ranma Sawatome is being introduced to the school, particularly when they were late for school. They stand in the hall of how they are always will. And also, that's how things just go well. And then he's Tatawaki Kuno has the rival confrontation fight between him and Ranma Sawatome, and then Ranma jumps into the swimming pool, which transforms into the girl form. And then that's how you expect as well, from how in this chapter progresses as well. From how, and then because Ranma's basically in the boy form when the hot water affects him only, but in the cold water it only affects him as the girl as well. As how these types of fights always assumes of how this goes. You would expect in this chapter of how you would know for this. And then Ranma Sawatome battles Tatawaki Kuno when Ranma's in the girl form as well. Back in the tent as the next day comes as well. Because they were referring to this as the tree-born kettle girl, as how these types certain names referring to Ranma as well in chapter 5 as well. as the story progresses in chapter 6, yeah, Tadawaki Kuno knew Ranma from how he is encountered as well, from this, how it works as well. When they were almost to the fight, Tadawaki Kuno, when they were thinks that Kuno is a pervert as well, especially when they were trying to get to the class parts. And then Tadawaki Kuno has threw cold water on Ranma when Ranma becomes the girl. And then Tadawaki Kuno refers to Ranma as the pigtail girl. And then Nabiki Tendo, who is one of the Tendo sisters, always has the hots for Tadawaki Kuno, always. That's how it seems. And then how the battle conflict between Ranma and Tadawaki Kuno had a lot to do between the martial arts and the sword fighting skill way. It's what the martial arts always do in that one, because you guessed it. And then that's how it works, is how things just go until checking on in the chiropractor, until the doctor appearance as well, especially in this chapter part in this one, in this whole conflict as well, is how it works when they went off into the night as well. And then that's how you would expect of how every night chapter. Yeah, Ranma does not like Akane's cooking because they thought Akane's cooking was terrible. Yeah, because Ranma said, coming from a tomboy like you to Akane, yep, that's right, because she's basically like your typical tomboy tsundere, a dumbass, as what you would refer to her as well. And then Tadawaki Kuno strikes again as the conflict battle between him and Ranma, as well as how you things just go on in the school, basically, of how in Ranma half goes. And then Ranma tries to the martial art duel between him and lesson under Akane Tendo, but this time in the boy form. And she thought that Ranma said to Akane, "You blew it," which is in the evening. And then we get to the story of how Ryoga appeared on the same day as how it goes. When he ends up getting lost when he was searching for Jusenki Narima High School, when he goes to a certain place, he ends up getting lost. That's how he ends up looking for her until he sees how Ranma wants to start the conflict and he knows it. And then Ryoga starts the fight between him and Ranma in this chapter of how it goes as well. Especially in the 1 week later, after something happened, after how the conflict fight as well. And yes, Ranma has the battle martial art fight between him and Ryoga, as how you would expect seeing. Yep, because they fight, they conflict with each other as well in the fight between him and Ryoga in the showdown happening, especially how they keep fighting, how Ryoga and Ranma are fighting in that one, as how this one goes. As well as you would expect seeing this and that, and there's especially the fight between Ryoga and Ranma as well as the water turns Ranma into the girl form, especially during the fight between Ranma and Ryoga, how it goes on as well. And that's how there leads you to how he tries to kick the fight, that conflict between Ranma and Ryoga happening on. And then that's how Ryoga has the weapon thing of his skill he used. Especially when during the conflict fights between him and when Ranma has to keep Akane from the dangers of the fight until something has cut Akane's hair, especially in this part and this chapter of the manga as well. And yep, Akane now her hair has been cut because something went from the air, cut Akane's hair. Yep, and then her long hair has been cut because it was in shock, which is almost saying caught in a public with a haircut, which everybody realized, and when Ranma's been up to, how it works. And that's how that was happening during the conflict fight between him and Ryoga as well. And that's how things just, it's going pretty well after the fight between him and Ryoga happening in this chapter. And then that's how you would expect from how you noticed in this chapter as well, especially in Ranma half as well. And then as Akane didn't know if Ranma and herself were strangers as well, if they would have known from the very beginning of this chapter of the manga as well. Till they went to Dr. Tofu's place, though, if you take notice on this one as well, from what I understand. And here is how, and then especially how in the things If It Matters happens, if they didn't know if Kasumi Tendo, another one of the Tendo sisters, likes Dr. Tofu, especially in this chapter of the manga as well, is how it seems. And then and that's how Ranma thinks, though, that Akane is cute when Ranma fell into the water and then causes him to turn into the girl. And then Ryoga's out there somewhere in Okinawa wanting for revenge on Ranma as well. So that's how the story is on the first volume of Ranma half, though. Because this is a great chapter in this one. It's been a while since I read this one, because this is the first time I wanted to do a manga review on Ranma half volume 1 for the first time, though. So that's going to be it for my manga review on Ranma half for volume 1 for today, you guys. Thank you for watching, but before we go, here's something to say for this one. Even though I've been reviewing 3 volumes of Inuyasha in my previous manga review, this is the first time I wanted to do a manga review on Ranma half volume 1 for the first time, though, which I haven't done one before until now, because this is going to take the cake whenever it comes to doing a manga review for the very first time, because I haven't done a manga review on Ranma half until volume 1 until now as well. Help subscribe for content on my Anime Planet, link in the description down below. You can share this video on your Twitter, Facebook, if you have Twitter, Facebook account, and all social media. Smack the like button if you enjoy this video. Feel free to leave in the comments section below about the first volume of Ranma half, especially the story of where I'm explaining and showing you the pictures from the manga as well. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, RuRoniK95. Feel free to join my channel, especially if you're new to my channel. Smack the notifications bell button. Be sure to get notified as well. And keep it otaku for this video on doing my manga review on Ranma half volume 1 for the very first time, because this is the first time I want to review this one, that's why. This is RuRoniK95 saying thank you for watching my video, and I'm glad you liked it. I hope you enjoyed it. Hope to see you soon for the next video. Hope you have a great day. This is RuRoniK95 signing off. Thank you for watching my video, and I will see you soon for more videos.